So a friend came up to me a few months ago and said that he had just seen the trailer for Black Phone 2, and he was wondering how they were going to make a sequel to the film since the first movie ended very definitively. And you know, well, the truth of the matter is, in Hollywood, if there's money to be made, they'll find a way to keep the franchise going. And yes, it is a franchise. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Sean McBride, the movie guy, and let's talk about that franchise, Black Phone 2.
You killed me. It took me a long time. But you of all people know that dead is just a word.
So Black Phone 2 reintroduces us to Finn, played by Madison Thames. He's the boy that was abducted by the grabber in the first movie. And the poor kid is still dealing with the trauma of that ordeal. Now his sister, Gwen, played by Madeline McGraw, she's not faring much better. She's plagued by a series of dreams in which she sees young kids being stalked by an unseen killer at a youth camp somewhere up in the Rocky Mountains. Now you may be saying to yourself, well, bad dreams, that's not enough for a good horror movie. But the grabber has a new twist. This time he has learned to stalk into someone's dreams. He can hurt you in the dreams. He can kill you in the dreams. It's conventional wisdom. If you die in a dream, you're going to die in real life. So Finn and Gwen decide that they need to investigate, so they sign on as camp counselors just as a monster winter storm cuts them off from the outside world. And speaking of monsters, who should suddenly appear but the grabber? He's ready to resume his bloody work. And so the question is, will our young heroes be able to stop the monster before he literally kills them all in their dreams? So look, Black Phone 2 is widely expected to be the biggest film of the Halloween season, and I think it's going to work out very well here. First of all, the grabber is still very creepy. If you look at all those famous movie monsters, the Freddy Kruegers, the Jason Voorhees, or the Michael Myers, they all have a distinct look to them, an interesting mask. And I gotta tell you, no offense to Ethan Hawke, but that bleached out devil mask that he wears, that is really creepy. That's doing half the work here. Ethan Hawke playing the villain, or at least his stunt double, is very good, very appealing. So I think there is just enough of the monster in this movie to keep it going. Now, unfortunately, he's not in the movie nearly as much as I would have liked, but combine that with a compelling story and with some creepy atmosphere, and you've got a pretty good Halloween movie. It helps that you actually have some pretty good actors as well. Madison Thames playing Finn, but especially Madeline McGraw as Gwen. She is really good, and she's the star of the show this time around here. And it's to her credit that we are so invested in this story. If we didn't care about her, we wouldn't care if the grabber got her or not. I think she's very good here. She's a compelling heroine, and we want to see more of her. And then let's not discount Ethan Hawke. I mean, like I said, the mask is doing a lot of the work here, but he's still very good in channeling his inner serial killer here. I think it's a very good performance as well. Now, the film does employ some odd visual techniques here. Every time there's a dream or a supernatural sequence, the film suddenly looks like it's on VHS tape or maybe a 16 millimeter film with some film scratches in it. And the soundtrack sounds like it's coming through an old record. So there's all that vinyl hiss. It's interesting, but a little bit goes a long way. And I guess what they're trying to do here is because the disconnected landline phones were such a big part of the first movie, well, they're trying to come up with other ways of media, other ways of communicating this time around. Like I say, it's interesting, but I just think they use it a little too much. And then as the film progresses, you're like, come on, let's just get to the story here. I have to say, I'm also a little disappointed by this pivot to genre. That first movie was an abduction thriller, a drama with supernatural elements. It was really surprising and really well done. Now we're just making a straightforward Halloween slasher movie. Nightmare on Elm Street in particular, this one reminded me of that, but also Freddy, also Friday the 13th, and all of those movies here. And that's fine. I guess you have to do that given the definitive ending of that first movie, but it's just a little less special this time around. Still, I will be there every Halloween to see the grabber go on another bloody killing spree, so I guess it's a good idea if you want to turn this into a genuine horror movie franchise. And look, the bottom line for me is if you're someone looking for some Halloween fun, I think this one is going to work very well for you. I can imagine this being a great date night movie. You get some nice atmosphere, some nice acting. You get a story that's a little over the top, but you get a good villain and a nice ending. So, I mean, what more do you want? Okay, what more did you want? I wish there could have been a little more of the grabber. I wish there could have been a few more genuine scares. But all in all, I think this is a fun little Halloween treat. I give Black Phone 2 3 stars out of 4. Now, I'm not saying that I want to see a new Black Phone movie coming out every year at Halloween. If you think about the Saw movies where they were coming out year after year after year, they got old very quickly. But you know, if you space these out every 2 or 3 years, give us a little more information, give us another killing spree, give us more information as to what's making the grabber tick here. I think that could be a fun Halloween treat for years to come. So I'm looking forward to it. But what do you think? Feel free to comment below. Of course, feel free to subscribe to my channel so you always get my movie reviews, and subscribe to my podcast, Two Movie Guys. Every week we get together and we chat about all of the week's big new movies in, more detail than I have time for in these short YouTube videos here. That's Two Movie Guys, wherever you get your podcasts. Okay, we are in another week jam-packed with interesting movies. I'll be back with another one that's kind of under the radar, but I thought had some genuinely wonderful performances. We'll be back to talk about Blue Moon. We'll see you then. Bye.